6 Minutes Season 5. The Season of Unknowingness. The final chapter of the 6 Minute sequel.
There are kids in this world who are different. Special.
One of them found us.
And became family.
But her time ran out. And now, that girl is missing.
In this episode, I'll be breaking down the latest episode, 6 Minutes Season 5, Piece by Piece. Hey, Review Bob listeners, it's your Landon Mueller. We're here today talking about episode 30 of 6 Minute Season 5, and I thought this episode was so solid. Everything with, Holiday being rescued from WhittierCorp, and then I also just really enjoy kind of Birdie wanting to go with her parents. We definitely get to see a lot of, relationship building between Jude and Adam here, and I'm also really looking forward to kind of finding out more about what's going on at WhittierCorp in the 80s. We set up a huge storyline here with just seeing Angel's intentions and what she plans to do at WhittierCorp. It seems like she's kind of turning down that evil path, and I think it's always interesting whenever we explore Angel's character. But yeah, let's dive right into it.
Plus, I thought Ivan might be able to track down my parents.
So, are we still trying to cause a scene, or...?
What is the meaning of this?
Dr. Whittier!
Monica Purcell.
Well, yeah. And friends.
Why are you here?
We came for Holiday.
Only turns out she wants to be here.
Yeah, so this is huge. I think there's two things to, kind of discuss. But I first want to start with Katie, and what she's doing is super smart. Contact her parents in Alaska, which is basically, the technology capital of the world, and we have, the resources of Ivan, because obviously we know Ivan is interconnected in all throughout space and time. In the previous episode, Ivan had delivered a message. And then we, of course, have this very dark side to Dr. Whittier and how, upset he is with everyone's company here. He's, all bombarded. And this is huge. I think we really speak to Dr. Whittier's intentions and I think it's interesting what he could do with, because we had heard before he knows a lot of different things about future Monica and will he try and destroy her future? I don't know. That's huge.
Has anyone ever told you you should be more trusting?
Sure. Right before proving themselves completely untrustworthy.
Oh dear! What's happening?
And it appears you've been grabbed by a large rodent.
What? Get out!
Yeah, so this was awesome. It was so unexpected, but I think it's huge that Jude is helping Adam here. He kind of comes to Adam's rescue and aid and saves the day, and it's huge because it kind of shows that Jude does want to help Adam, right? In spite of everything we've seen between these two characters, Jude is willing to help if that has any sort of benefit to him. And just the whole animal thing, I thought it was awesome, and it was kind of a fun way to add a lot of action and character building here. And I love that we kind of get to explore the island even more, right? The idea that there's a lot of rodents, but I certainly like, how Adam's talking about trust, and that's a huge thing for him. He's never been a very trusting person, I think, and that is huge. It's a very intrinsic part of his character, really the only person he truly trusts is himself, right?
I'm sorry that happened to you. No one deserves to be thrown away.
Well, I guess I got my revenge.
I guess so.
You know, because I killed him by throwing him through a wall.
Yes, I knew what you meant.
Right. Anyway, like you said, seems like we kind of need each other right now.
Seems that way.
Yeah, this is interesting because I think Adam is falling into Jude's trap in a sense. He's super manipulative. He has kind of been playing these games, these mind games in Adam's head, trying to get him to join his side all along, and that's huge. I could have never expected this partnership last season after, Adam tried to kill Jude. It was a huge, huge, huge part of the season, but now Adam has become desperate, right? Unlikely people partner up, and it proves to be a very, very interesting work relationship here. But I think it'll be interesting to see if, these guys, they get closer and they can relate to each other, because ultimately Jude and Dr. Whittier are very different. Even though they're technically the same being, there's a lot of different traits that Jude has that Adam doesn't. But certainly it'll be super interesting to see Adam being rebuilt piece by piece, and, I had said he's desperate. Kind of what is Adam willing to do? Does he really trust Jude all that much? I guess we'll see.
Why were these floors even built?
Yeah, good question. I mean, there's a perfectly good building above ground.
This was built for the part of WhittierCorp they don't want people to know about, right? The secret's best kept underground.
Like I said, you'll each have your own room. Holiday is down the hall. Monica, this is you. James, you're right over there.
Oh, right next to each other.
Cool.
I like this idea that even in the 80s, WhittierCorp is very shady. They've already kind of started implementing these hidden rooms, and obviously we kind of learned in the previous episode that below ground, that's where the experiments are happening. Dr. Whittier building his kind of, hovey and all these different things, below ground, that's kind of part of WhittierCorp that he doesn't want other people to see, like Katie had said. And I think Katie is also just very funny in this episode overall. She makes so many great remarks here. I do also like how Angel neither confirms nor denies, them talking about how WhittierCorp might be a little bit corrupt. WhittierCorp hasn't been around very long, and yet at the same time they're already doing kind of shady things, and we hear a little bit more about that later in the episode. But it's so interesting seeing Angel take on this leadership role and trying to show everyone around.
The problem is I can't trust anyone who might show up. The stuff I'm working on, it's too valuable and dangerous.
Then why do you trust us?
Because you lost a daughter, Dr. Anders. And I've experienced quite a lot of loss myself.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if Adam is trying to manipulate these two characters, because right after this clip we hear James and Monica discuss and decide, do we trust Adam, do we not trust Adam? It's super, super, super interesting. And obviously we kind of heard Adam putting his trust into Jude earlier in this episode. What are we learning about Adam, right? Is he starting to trust all these people, or is he playing a card game? Is he rolling the dice and kind of what is he hiding and why is he trusting all these people? But I certainly like the fact that James and Monica are skeptical. But again, we talked about desperation, and James and Monica are desperate, right? They want to find their daughter, rebuild her. And ultimately, I don't know if I'm totally cool with rebuilding Holiday, because I don't think that's something that can just be rebuilt, because what does that say about all of Holiday's experiences, right? If we're just saying that Holiday isn't a being and she doesn't have feelings.
It could be dangerous.
Which is why I'm bringing backup.
Who do you want to bring with us?
For starters, Badger.
Your homecoming date?
Yeah, I think this is super funny, but it's also interesting because they don't know what Badger is really up to. And, we know Badger is working with this mystery person, so what if Badger gives the mystery person directions to, where they are on Neverland? Is Neverland potentially going to get stormed? I also do really like Birdie's, super team, and it's huge. It feels like a climactic ending to the whole show, because presumably Season 5's, that's the end of Out of Time, and I certainly think it's fun that, they're a super team, and, James and Monica aren't totally cool with it. They're a little uncomfortable, but I'm really excited to go back to Neverland, because we've just seen so much on Neverland, and there's a lot of possibility, for sure.
You want to try to restore your power?
For now, let's just see how it works on others.
All right. I'll have them prep your lab. Now, tell me who Holiday is.
When I tell you, you're going to be awfully proud of your future self, Doc.
This was so unexpected, Angel trying to restart, or I guess, find out more about her DNA and making Whit kids. That is so huge. So I wonder if we'll get to see just how, if the Whit kids were created at WhittierCorp, or exactly how that worked. Thank you all so much for listening. If you enjoyed the show, please leave a 5-star review. Until next time, this is Landon saying peace, love, and time travel.